Hi everyone, it's Deb. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if it's your first time here. Okay, this is the paper pumpkin alternatives that I've made. This is the video about them, and I'm doing this in collaboration with Stmpgrl, who is Paige. And honestly, she's probably already got her video up, I'm sure. But anyway, she is not a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. She just likes the products. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and so if you're interested in anything except this month's paper pumpkin, it's too late to get that. But if you're interested in future ones, there's a link down below that you can click on directly to paper pumpkin, or you can also order some of the other supplies or whatever you would like on the website through my channel if you don't already have a demonstrator in the US. I'm a US Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So without further ado, the paper pumpkin kit that we're using is the July one, and it came with these. So I did the unboxing and I made the 3 cards as intended. This was the first one, this was the second one, and I kept envelopes with them. I think I have an extra envelope here actually. Goody. Yeah, I do. So that's that one, and then this was the last one. So yeah, those are the 3 I just discovered I have left. And let me show you what I have left actually. This extra envelope I didn't realize I still had. 1 card base. I have some of the cutouts from here, and I think the ship is still left. Hang on. I think the 2 clouds, these 2 labels, this label, yeah, the ship is still left, and 1 ship's wheel and 2 of the ship wheel dimensionals, and then this is a piece of envelope which is going in the trash, but I just wanted to show you that I actually cut out from the envelope also. I have a lot of twine left, a lot of the sequins left, and 2 of the paper clips left, and I have 1, 2 of these greeneries, and I used all of these up, but I'm saving it because I might use it as a stencil. And of course I have the stamp set, the tissue paper, and I do have the mini Stampin' Spot in Pretty Peacock. That is all I have left. In fact, I didn't even realize I had, oh, well, I might use that for something, you'll see later. So yeah, that's what's left in my kit. My goal was to use it up, and I almost did. So let me show you my alternatives. This is the first one. This uses the stamp that was in the kit, and this is on Rococo Rose cardstock, which is one of the new in colors, and it's a really pretty rose. So it had this medallion sort of thing that matched one of the papers in the Woven Threads papers. Excuse me. Okay, so I actually used a circle die, one of the layering circles, and I think it was like the next to the smallest regular circle or something like that, to cut these out of the Woven Threads Designer Series paper, which I already put away. I'm so sorry, excuse me. This is one of the card backs, and I used the Scripty embossing folder, Scripty 3D embossing folder, and I embossed it, and then I took a sponge like this in Rococo Rose, and I just went over it to make the words show. This is a piece of terracotta tile cardstock, a scrap that I had, and this is a scrap that I had out of the 2019 to 20 Designer Series paper. Here's another piece that I cut off of this. I did this in a full mat, and then I cut it down. You'll see that in a minute. I'm so sorry. Okay, as I was saying, I bumped this up on dimensionals, I layered these three. This is a piece of the new ribbon. It's in the Rococo rose color, and it's called scalloped linen ribbon in the Rococo rose. A little darker in there because I used glue and I shouldn't have done that. Anyway, this is bumped on dimensional. This is bumped on mini, no, also on dimensionals, but glued onto here. And then this, I outlined a piece of Whisper White in Rococo Rose ink and stamped Happy Birthday from the set. And then the last thing I did on the front is I used these 2019 to 21 in color faceted dots in the Rococo Rose, in one of each size. On the inside, I took a strip of terracotta tile, one of the other pieces from this, the other half, and then I had cut out another one of the circles, so I just put that in, and that's the inside. So that's card alternative 1. And then I thought, well, I used an awful lot that maybe people don't have. This is from the paper pumpkin, and the stamp here is from the paper pumpkin, but really everything else is out of my stash, but it's all Stampin' Up. So I thought maybe you wouldn't have all that. So my next card uses more of the kit. Okay, so this is actually the inside of an envelope that looks like this. And what I did to do this is I trimmed along here and along here, and that opens this up, and this does go all the way down in, so you have a nice square or rectangle. And then I cut it down and matted it on Pretty Peacock, because that's what this color is. This is from the kit, and I cut it. It was a longer piece, and I cut it. Here's the third medallion that I had cut out of the Woven Threads paper. Terracotta tile back here, and I stamped You're the Best in Pretty Peacock, which is from the kit, and this label is from the kit, and the twine is from the kit, and the sequins are from the kit. And I just put one in the middle of the medallion and then 2 other ones on, and tied a bow with the twine, and that's all. Inside, here's another strip left from the envelope. The other piece that I had cut off this piece from the kit, and a piece of Whisper White going this way, and then I just layered everything. So I thought that came out pretty nice, actually. And then continuing to use the envelope in a unique way, and also the piece of paper that this came out of, the border around. This is the card front from the piece that I used here that I embossed. So this was the back of this piece. Now this is in Sahara sand, and it has the same sort of dotted pattern, if you will, as the envelope did in Pretty Peacock. So that ties it together. But this is this was an envelope flap. And then this is another piece of the envelope, probably part of the flap, and I cut off the sticky part, and I just made 2 triangles that way. This is another piece of that scalloped linen ribbon, but in the Pretty Peacock color. So what I did is I layered these on first. Actually, I layered this on first all the way over to the edge here. I think I did end up cutting off the piece that had the 2 banners, and I just put it, there's just a thin layer over here. It wasn't even like this, so it was a little skinnier than that, so I did put it up against the edge of this Sahara sandpaper. Then I put the triangles on, and I centered them as best I could. And then I wrapped this ribbon around and glued it down underneath. And I did put some glue dots on this time on the front to help hold it in place. This is a piece of Pretty Peacock cardstock, and then I used my Starburst scallop punch with a piece of Whisper White and just stamped Happy Birthday from the paper pumpkin kit in Pretty Peacock. And before I put that up on dimensionals, I did wrap some of the twine, just looped it around because I needed something in some of these spots. And then I put 5 of the sequins in various sizes on. And actually, I'm not sure if this is the one. Hang on a second. I couldn't remember if they these came in various sizes. Yeah, it did. I wasn't sure if I used some from another sequin mix, but I think I used just the ones from the kit on this, the larger and the smaller. Because here's large, large, small, small, small. Yeah. And then inside on that one, I just had a strip of the Sahara sand left, and I just put it on the Whisper White, and that's it on that one. I think that's kind of cute. Pretty cool. Okay, the next one I went shaker. So I don't do shakers very often. I don't feel like I'm good at them, but anyway, I brought out a piece of Seaside Spray cardstock. I think this is the back of another one of those cards with the Sahara sand on it, and I don't know if you can tell, but inside there is a little diamond shaped piece that has the print on it, but this piece does not have the print on it. This is one of the whole things, but what I did is I used the stitch shape dies and I cut out a diamond shape from here, and then I cut a diamond shape out also of the same size from, actually I don't, I guess it is a stitch shape, but it doesn't stitch around the edge. Anyway, same with the pattern of the Sahara sand. And then I used these, I think these are still available, foam adhesive strips. And I went around this and also around the base to glue it down. And then this is a piece of, I forget what it's called, Sahara sand, where is it, Woven Threads trim. This is from the Woven Threads collection, and I did pull the this strip here out, and that makes the little tassels loose, and I just put that along the edge because it just felt like it needed something else. And inside, here's the piece I cut out from the front, and here's a piece, another piece of the card that had the little dots all over it. And that's all I did on the inside of that one. Okay, next one. So those were mostly using the Woven Threads coordinated patterns, and there's 4 cards of those. And what got me started actually on this first one, just FYI, is I'm in a Facebook group swap, and we were to make a card using this card sketch. So I actually made this from Woven Threads, not with the paper pumpkin kit, except for the Hello Friend. So I guess you could say I used that also. But I use mostly designer papers. Oh, this stamp here is from the paper pumpkin kit as well. So this is what got me started, and then I thought, well, I'll make another one. The person likes blues and greens, so I don't know if I'll be sending this or not. I may do another one in blues and greens, but that's how I did that one. So I did use Hello Friend and this from the paper pumpkin. So that is what started me on my journey with that card, and then I adapted it and went a little more paper pumpkin on this one. And yeah, so I'm not counting that other one as a paper pumpkin alternative, but I guess I could. But anyway, so there's 4 plus the other one with the Woven Threads. Then I went into the Garden Lane area. Now I do not have the coordinating Garden Lane papers or stamp set or anything, and I also, or Verdant Lane, I think is part of it's called. And I also don't have much of the Magnolia set except for the stamps and the Memories and More cards. And so I pulled out the Memories and More cards. This is one of the smaller ones, a 3x4. And this is a piece of the paper from the Paper Pumpkin kit. This is a label from it. This is a stamp from it, which I stamped in Mossy Meadow. I did use, I have to glue that down a little bit, this card base with the dots on it is from the kit, as is this sprig and this leaf. And then these are from the Magnolia Lane cork embellishments. They're from that set. And I used one Magnolia and one tag. There are some more tags in there somewhere. And I finally, just Friday, got my back-ordered set of ribbon, which is the Magnolia Lane ribbon combo pack, and it had the Mossy Meadow twine and then this other ribbon I didn't end up using, but I used the Mossy Meadow twine, tied a knot up at the top, but then I pulled it forward and just tied a bow here on the front, and I tacked it down a little bit with a glue dot. And inside I just used Whisper White, the other piece of this that I had cut, and one of the stickers from the Magnolia Lane Memories and More card pack. And that is that card. And then I just figured I'd use this envelope with it. Then I have this one. Similarly, I put it on thick Whisper White cardstock. Maybe it's just regular Whisper White, I'm not sure. Put a piece of Mossy Meadow down as a mat. This again is from the Memories and More card pack, one of the Magnolia pieces. And again, I cut this down, and I don't think I ended up using the other half of that. I might have. Oh yes, I did. I see where it is. Okay, in the next card. And then this is Very Vanilla, and I just stamped in Mossy Meadow, You're the Best. I wrapped the twine around 3 times and stuck it down with glue dots, and then I took another piece and tied a little bow right in the middle there. And on this I used the I used the Good Morning Magnolia stamp, this one here, and I stamped tone on tone on the Mossy Meadow with Mossy Meadow, just those two, because I figured out the positioning where they would show if I had everything layered, because it just needed something up here and here. I didn't put any bling on that one. I'm kind of surprised. I could go back and put some of the lighter sequins on. And then inside I just stamped another one of the Magnolias, like on the front. And I don't think I might have stamped it off once. Just once, and then again I have the green envelope to go with. Okay, and then the next one, I was using up some scraps. Here's a piece of the back of one of the cards, the Sahara sand. I had 2 little pieces left here and here of this from trimming them down, so I put it there and there. This is the green circle out of the kit that originally was used on this card, you know. But I stamped one of the other Magnolias. This one is out of the Magnolia Blooms beginner photopolymer stamp set. And again, I just stamped it off and then in Mossy Meadow and put it on that lighter green circle. And then I just really layered things. I figured it all out, and then I glued this down, and this other one like it. I glued down the strip. I was originally thinking of using this ribbon there, which would have looked fine too, and it's almost the exact same width as this, but I had this piece and I wanted to use it. Then I just glued down the circle, and then this is bumped up on dimensionals, which might be minis because it's not as high up. And then these little dots were left over from a Paper Pumpkin kit from days gone by. I don't know which one it was, but there's like some green and some, might have been one for a fall project because it had green and sort of champagne or yellowy ones. So I used quite a few of those, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those. And inside I just put a piece of Whisper White, but this is a sticker border out of the Magnolias and More card pack, and that's all I did on that one. And I don't have an envelope for that, so I might switch this envelope out and use it on one of these, and then just use a plain Whisper White. No, I don't think I like that. Anyway, we'll figure it out. So I have quite a few of these green and white striped envelopes. Okay, then I went to like the sail away kind of thing. I pulled out Seaside spray. I embossed it, the front, with the what is this called? High Seas 3D embossing folder. I didn't go over it with any color. Then this is a piece out of the envelope, one of the envelopes, and I don't know, do I have one of those left? Like this. So here again, you know, I cut that, and then I cut, it has like square rectangles, so I cut one of them out here. The clouds I put up on dimensionals. Here's another piece of that Sahara sand card front cut, and then here I use the Seaside spray with linen ribbon. So this is glued down, this is glued down, this is embossed. I don't know if you can, there you can see it. And then this is up on, these are up on mini dimensionals, this is up on dimensionals but glued onto the front of the cloud, and then this is on one of those circular dimensionals, which I had a little trouble getting lined up right on there. It kind of got bent out and then it wouldn't come off for me to straighten it. And then these again are the in color faceted dots from 2019 to 21 in the Seaside spray, one in each size. And then on the inside, I put a piece of Whisper White. Here's the other half of the envelope piece. And then I stamped in Night of Navy, Happy Birthday, from the Paper Pumpkin kit. So from the Paper Pumpkin kit, we have this, 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 this. And I added the embellishments, the ribbon, and the Whisper White, and the cardstock, and the navy ink. Excuse me. So I think I'm actually going to put that one with this envelope since it has that. Then the next one, I got creative. I took the flap of the envelope and I thought, well, how am I going to do that? So what I did is I got out a piece of watercolor paper and I water brushed with the Seaside spray down the bottom, and I should have done it the other way around, and the balmy blue up here, and then I spritzed it with my shimmer frost white and made it all glisten. See? Then this is a piece of the denim ribbon, real thin and soft and nice. It's denim 3/8 inch ribbon in the current annual catalog, and it is denim. It's in with the dinosaur paper and stuff, but I didn't get that sweet. I just did that. I stamped the birds from the Seaside, one second, from the Sailing Home stamp set here. I also used the compass here. This is where I cut out of the envelope, the other part of the envelope. I used it to do the starburst punch, and then on the 2 1/4 inch punch I cut out Night of Navy, and I layered that all up. This is from the Paper Pumpkin kit. Thanks is from this Sailing Home kit here, and I stamped that in Night of Navy. And this is the flap of the envelope, the inside of the flap, which I just cut off the sticky parts here. And it actually had a little piece up here on, like right here, and I just flapped that over the watercolor paper before I glued it down. inside I have a piece of Whisper White, and I again used the compass and the You Are My True North from Sailing Home. I stamped this off down in the bottom. I stamped it off one time, and this is I actually did this on my Stamparatus, guys. I think I got it kind of straight. So that is the next card, and then one more. I've been participating in a Christmas in July, so I had a piece of this green and white striped cardstock left, and this is what I decided to do with it. I brought out the Winter Woods stamp set, this tree here. I stamped it on Whisper White in Mossy Meadow, and I cut it out with the largest scallop layering oval, and I think they might be on not back order or something. This is the one. I'm not sure. I thought I saw something recently about them going temporarily on back order. So then this is the green circle from the kit. I did use the shimmer paint in Frost White with the Wink of Stella. So you shake it and you get some Frost White down in the cap, and you just take your Wink of Stella brush and get a little bit of that on, and I just put it all over the tree. There you can see it like it snowed. This is Stampin' Up's gold foil sheet, and what I did there is I took the Twinkle Builder punch, which carried over from the last catalog here, and I just tried to get two of these stars, one for on top of the tree and this one here, to put something down here. I did not bump these up on like several times. I just cut them once and glued them down. This star here is bumped up on a mini dimensional, and that's it on that one. And then on the inside I just left it blank for now because I don't know what I want to do with it. And then I pulled out, which I had been thinking about doing earlier for some of the other cards, these and these are still available, gold foil edge gold cards and envelopes. I just pulled out one of the envelopes to go with it since it had gold on there. And that's it, guys. That is that's my selection of cards for alternatives for Paper Pumpkin for the month of July. The On My Mind, I think it's called. Yes, On My Mind kit. So we have a Christmas card. We've got two other ideas for the sailing away, sail away home type cards. Then we had some using the Magnolia Lane cards and more, and the embellishments that go with it. And then we also did the woven threads, several of those in Rococo Rose, Pretty Peacock, a shaker in Seaside Spray, and another Pretty Peacock. So I hope you enjoyed this. Let me slide this down a little bit if I can. Get them better in frame here. And yeah, that was took me a while to get going, and I started with these, and then I was heading towards these because for some reason I was feeling kind of tired of using the Sailing Home because I've used that several times already. And I don't really have that many men in my life anymore, just my brother, and he's not really a sailor anyway. So yeah, I'm probably going to be donating some of the cards. So yeah, please go check out Stmpgrl, who is an awesome card maker. Her cards are always like wow to me, and I aim to be as great a card maker as her. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for hanging with me for so long, and be sure to go check out Paige, and I'll see you next month with some more alternatives. So how many do we get here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, plus you could count this one because I used this and this from the set, 11, plus the 3 that we had made from the kit. And oh, and I do have a few more labels I just noticed, the gold foil labels, the smaller ones here left, that were buried under these cards. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Hugs, love, and peace. Hope you have a great week.